Hey guys, it's my turn to record a video again. It's Thursday, and I'm sorry if this video is so late. It happens. So, I had a lot of things I thought about talking about today, but I think I'm going to go with a reform of the income tax system that I wrote with a friend of mine, just making it soon. Earlier this year for our economics final. We also reformed welfare and several other, the education system in our final. We wrote a very, very long final paper. It was very interesting to we learned a lot. Just let me open the Excel that goes with this. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So what I have here is some graphs that I can't show you because they're on my computer screen. Actually, I can probably break this to show my computer screen, but we rigged up a lot of things. The major thing I'm going to talk about is the income tax. So what did we do with income tax? Well, currently, right now, income tax is classified by brackets, tax brackets, right? And it's actually really, really complicated how the income tax system works. So, these are the numbers that we got at the beginning of the year. They may or may not be completely accurate now. These are adjusted usually every so often. But the way the income tax system works is that on your first X dollars you're taxed at the such and such rate. For the next X dollars you're taxed at such and such rate. On and on and on. It works in quintiles. You have your lowest rate. What you technically have, if you make below, I think it is 3,000, you don't have to pay income tax. If you're a student and you work for the college you attend, you don't pay income tax. You have that sort of thing. But aside from that, you're divided into quintiles. You have your bottom 20%, second, third, fourth, top. Actually, I think it goes backwards. Top, second, third, fourth, fifth, which is lowest. But you get the point. They separate it by income, and so at the time we wrote this project, the lowest quintile was $35,350. So on the first $33,350, you were taxed at a rate of 15%. Yay. For any money that you made between this and the next quintile, 33,350 and 85,650, you're taxed at, looks like it's between 25 and 30%. Sorry, I don't have numbers. I have a graph in front of me that we made. So between $85,650, any money you make in excess of that up until $178,650, it's a little over a 30% rate. Between that and 388,350, it's a 36%, it looks like, and 39 or 38 or 39% for over 388,350. So the problem we saw with the system was that it's a kind of all or nothing. Once you shift up into the next bracket, you shift up. And it doesn't work very well. You're just increasing the tax rate. You're decreasing the net, basically. You're not, it's not entirely fair. You're having jumps. You're having jumps in the percentage, and that's not quite right. Because 15% of 5,000 is a lot more as relates to income than 15% of 20,000. You're going to say no, it's a lot less because it's a lot less money. But if you're living on 5,000 versus 20,000, 5,000 you're putting a lot more of your money into groceries. 20,000 you probably still don't have a whole lot to live off, but you understand that it's a larger portion of your food budget, your necessities budget. A certain portion of your budget is necessities. And the smaller your budget is, the larger the percentage of your budget is for necessities. Food, clothing, shelter, that sort of thing. So while the monetary amount is lower, the amount that it dips into the necessities is higher. So to rectify this, we designed a new income tax system based on functions. So what we did is we said it's very complex. We cut it off at 30,000, which is an arbitrary point for the change between functions, but this was more so that the transition from one function to another was smooth, because otherwise it's kind of uneven and ugly. So to make the transition smoother, we cut one function off at 30,000. So basically what happens is it rises exponentially and then curves out into a square root curve. And we use calculus, lots of calculus, because calculus is fun. Not really. So for the first 30,000, and what we did is this is your rate on your entire income. It's a flat tax in the sense that it comes straight out of your income. There are no deductions. There are no tax credits in the system. Not a number. It's a percent of your gross income. So the percent is calculated for the first 30,000 you earn. P equals trouble reading it. I think that's right. Oh, well, I could just copy and paste it. Let's see, does that work? Nope. Oh, that's gonna have to do. If I'm reading this correctly and it's written kind of funny and it's been a long time since I did this. The equation is 0 plus 1/6 times 1 and 4/9 times 1 O to the negative 1 U times IP. Not sure. Okay. I is the income of the individual in question. P is the income tax rate that the individual must pay. It's a really complicated function. And I'm pretty sure I didn't transcribe it quite properly because it's a really complicated function. But anyway, the equation was obtained by taking a third level derivative of the income tax percentage in accordance with the model of the next sector of rate calculation in order to establish continuity at the point 30,000 to give an individual tax rate of 6.5%. That's why we cut it off at 30,000. Tax rate there is 6.5% of gross income under our system. We wanted them to meet the two functions, so yay, 30,000 was the meet point. And it was a lot of complicated math, and a lot of that math because of the case. Anyway, afterwards the calculation becomes a lot easier. After 30,000, the calculation formula becomes E equals square root I minus 2,000 times 0.06. So this is income tax rate calculated so the individuals don't have to worry about being placed in a higher bracket because brackets are eliminated. The only incomes that are grouped together are those that are at or above an annual income of $500,000 a year. Again, that was kind of arbitrary. The system can be designed for any range of values. You can find a new function that this took a little while. At which point a flat rate tax of 45% is given. The system provides a higher accuracy in the calculation of income tax rate because values are changing at an infinitesimal level, allowing those to be individually calculated per income. If I look at my Excel spreadsheet, I would get something I could copy and paste. There we go. That's what I thought. So there's the original one written out. This is E7 is I. Found it. Anyway, so that's for the first 30,000. Yeah, I think it wasn't easy. Bad math. No, it was good. It was good math. It's just I don't like math. Anything. This comes with a battery of welfare reform that we included. Yeah, I'm starting to run long. Sorry guys, I do that. I talk for a long time. Anyway, so how we reformed the welfare system. First of all, we made everything decrease. Instead of at set income levels in the current welfare system, welfare like decreases by a set amount or vanishes entirely. So what we did is we set up functions that phase out the welfare slowly and more quickly as you need more and more. That was the idea. Anyway, so we started with food stamps and we said, okay, average family of 4, how much do you need? I believe it was in here. I hope it was in here. Yes. Yeah, parts of this paper are missing because this paper is stupid. My computer won't open it properly, so I'm just gonna remember what I did. Okay, so food stamps we kept at $6,000 per year, and up until $7,000 a year, you get the maximum amount, and at that point, it starts decreasing according to an exponential function. Exponential functions are cool, they're easier. And because of where it actually ends up ending, so I is income, half is your food stamps, and basically it goes to zero around should go to zero on 21,000, which it does. That was the idea, to cap it off on 21,000. It actually caps off around 20,712 and 96 cents. Oops. Anyway, then we set up Medicaid, and what we did is we said up until a certain point, the government covers Medicaid. And then at $16,000 per year, you start paying a small premium. So we valued Medicaid at $4,300 a year, which is the average value of an insurance plan. We looked it up. That is what you pay in a year for insurance if you are working and you are healthy. So we said Medicaid has a value of $4,300. You get the full amount up until 15,000 per year, sorry. And then it starts to decrease and goes to zero on 45,000 per year. And it also decreases on an exponential, which is nice. So the value is calculated as, this is a formula for value. So Medicaid value equal to 4,300 times 25.627 e to the 0.014 times 300. These are designed to exponentially decrease over time, but it means that we've extended Medicaid actually up to 45,000 per year, where it finally goes to zero. And you make payments on it. So, for example, at $44,000 per year, the value of Medicaid is $435.27. So you're paying $4,300 minus $435.27, so roughly $3,900, which will be less to the government every year for your insurance. But you're still getting it at a reduced rate. That's kind of how we work that system. You get reduced rate health insurance past Medicaid. We actually grew welfare. Then we did a living stipend. Now, all of the other programs are vouchers, or they're given directly. Medicaid is given directly. There's requirements beyond welfare that someone in that must have been employed in at least a part-time position in the last year, or you must have outstanding reason why they cannot be, i.e. extreme disability of some sort, something that vouches for, and there are other systems to catch people who become disabled, but that's the idea. The idea is that you're not on this system forever and making nothing. The idea is you're making an effort and it's just not good enough. Anyway, so living stipends are our only cash form in our system. Yay. You get $1,500 per year in cash, so a little over $100 a month, $150 a month, yeah, $150 a month. We did that intentionally, up until 10,000, and then it starts to decrease, and it goes to zero around 21,000. So this is a function of decrease. Again, it's exponential, and it's living stipend. This 6, 4, 5, 7, 2, 3, 7, 4. times E0 income. So yeah, there's a 0 on 21,000. That was the idea. These values are not completely arbitrarily chosen, only semi-arbitrarily chosen. There is a reason why these values were chosen. I'll get into that in a minute. But these are the functions that take it to 0 between the values that we wanted. Okay, now there's a housing voucher. So we looked up the rent on like a mobile home property, and based on that, we decided that the housing voucher would be $7,200 a year up into $10,000, and then it decreases according to the function housing voucher equals 19,454.51 e to the negative 0.0000, and then 4 times your income. And this gives you, it should go to 0 around 20,000. No, this is 0 on 35,000. I'm sorry. So 35,000, you stop getting the housing voucher. Sorry, it's been a little while since I did this project. 35,000 goes to 0, and after that point, you don't get a housing voucher. You get decreased after 10,000 according to that function. So at 35,000, it actually goes to 0 at 36,000. At 35,000, it goes to $599.94. Yay, you can cover a month of rent, maybe. But the idea is something. Okay. The next thing we did related to our educational reform. So in order to offer a quality of education quality to everyone, we decided that everyone could put in for an $8,000 school voucher if they disenrolled their children from the public schools, if they have children. People without children can't do this, and take out a school voucher. In fact, we were actually going to write it so that you took out a school voucher anyway, and you took it to the public school if your student went there. If your child went to a private school, you took it there. It could be applied to your balance. In a home school, you would have to give proof that you applied it to educational purposes. And we did argue over whether or not it should be allowed at all. Mainly because it's harder to monitor that is actually going to what they say is the idea of the 8,000 is to offset tuition at every private school if you wish to go there. Next voucher was a community college voucher, and that one is straight $2,250 based on like an average tuition of about $3,000 a year to community college, so it's $2,250 a year. You can get the full amount up to making $20,000 per year, then it decreases according to the function. Sorry, this is annoying. The community college voucher is equal to 50 divided by 4 times your income. These slopes make it gradual, by the way, it's sort of all at once, and it cuts off around 41,000. At 40,000 a year, you're getting like $99. Yay, you covered a school bill. You know, like it does get kind of ridiculous. You get small amounts, but the idea is to wean you off slowly instead of all at once. So the last thing is the tax rate, which is pretty good based on the formulas I covered before. and then the tax, which is just the rate divided by 100 times the income. Right? So from there, we got their real income, and under our system, someone who made $1,000 a year would actually be netting $30,550 a year in their maximum welfare. The important thing about the system is that it escapes the poverty trap almost entirely. Um, your net income is always decreasing all the way up, always increasing all the way up the system. There's always incentive to move forward, which is why we cut off our programs where we did. That was the reasoning behind we're going to make this last until 20,000, 40,000. It was balancing to escape the poverty trap. Now there is a small range of values where we did hit the poverty trap, and unfortunately there wasn't much we could do to avoid it. We tried. We tried looking at many ways. So between $11,000 and $14,000 per year is your income. You do run into the poverty trap. Your net income does go down slightly. It goes from like 36,000 to 35,000 per year. Actually, 36,247 and 59 cents to 35,463 and 36 cents, and then after that it starts going up again. Regrettably, we couldn't avoid that, but under our system, you're making $11,000 and you're making 36,247 and 59 cents net. So you're doing pretty well anyway. The point at which you start making less, your net income is less than your gross income. I feel like we have this highlighted somewhere. Also, the $8,000 voucher is counting in here, so it takes a little while. But it is approximately in the 70,000 area. A little bit before that, around 60, around 65,000. You start making, oh, there it is, between 62 and $63,000. You start making less net than you gross. So prior to that point, you're making more net than your gross. Part of that is your school voucher that you got there, which we added in there. But it's not really income in the sense that it's not really spendable on anything but education, and if your school you send your child to costs less than $8,000 a year, you don't get the extra. But assuming you use the voucher to its fullest potential, 8,000 by the way is based on how much a public school spends per child, which is actually closer to 10,000. But we're assuming that they're farming some of these children out to private schools now, which typically spend much less, closer to 3,000 a child. Not all of them, but many of them. So, we're assuming we've gotten rid of some of the cost there. Anyway. So around 62,500 you start netting less than gross. And this continues up exponentially. The tax is flat. It's on your entire income, like I said, with no deductions. No tax credits. We eliminated those. Not nothing. At 500,000, you are taxed at a straight 45%, and the most you can get in welfare is your $8,000 school voucher that everyone else gets, because your welfare is completely cut off. Aside from that voucher, 46,000 a year. That was the last time you get anything besides a voucher. So yeah, that is our income and welfare reform plan. I wish I had been a little bit more eloquent, but it's 11:30 at night, so please excuse me. If you have questions, comment below, follow us, yay, and peace out.